everyone, I am MechaRandom42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and we have some kind of funny news that I find very interesting, and I think it says a lot about the fandoms, and about movies, and about like repeated viewing, about word of mouth, and how that might damage films. So, of course, we have Vice Admiral Gender Studies looking very disapprovingly at this news. I also didn't want a whole bunch of white on the screen. These articles are always squished into the very little middle here. So, what does this article say? This comes from Deadline, and it says that Aquaman got 16.9 million on Wednesday, and it beats The Last Jedi and Black Panther. And the DC superhero will fly to 54 million on the second weekend. Let's take a second to think about that, what that really means. Now, this is a Wednesday total, so this is yesterday's total. This means that more people had much better word of mouth and trickled into the theaters after opening weekend for Aquaman. Keeping this just for Aquaman. More people wanted to go in and see Aquaman than The Last Jedi, than Star Wars. Aquaman, like the joke of the DC universe, the guy who talks to fish. More people wanted to see that than Star Wars, than Luke Skywalker's triumphant return to the big screen, because we had word of mouth, because we had people say what was wrong with the movie, and you had a lot of people not going back for repeat viewings with Star Wars. And that's an important thing to think about. With something like Aquaman, I immediately got out of the theater with Aquaman, and I said, oh, I want to see that again. That's really fun. It didn't shit all over a character that I was attached to. It didn't do anything to be disrespectful. You don't have the filmmakers calling people man babies and whatever else they call us, and toxic, for the few people who didn't like Aquaman. I don't hear any negative press about that. And that's the important thing to think about. And a lot of people don't realize that with something like Star Wars, word of mouth really is important. It is not too big to fail. It is not so insanely popular that everybody's going to go and flock to see it. You're not going to make billions and billions and billions on Star Wars anymore, especially when you're shitty to the fans. And Aquaman is a great sort of thing you can point people to and say, see, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You take a character that's kind of been panned, you take a character like that, and you make a cool movie. You are respectful to fans. If they don't like your movie, whatever, who cares? I haven't heard anything about James Wan going on Twitter attacking fans. If that happens, let me know, and I will make a video on it, and I will call him out for it. But here's the thing. Here's the big difference, right? Rian Johnson is still out there on Twitter, still getting his name out there. People are still talking about The Last Jedi. People are still mad about The Last Jedi. Star Wars shill websites are still out there trying to drag these things up. Trying to drag, it's the fans that are toxic. We need to get rid of them. And we didn't make a bad movie. You guys just suck. Just look at Esquire magazine recently with Matt Miller making articles just to slander fans, just to slander people who didn't like the movie. Now, this is what happens when you do that. Movies like Aquaman, about a guy who talks to fish, beat Star Wars. And I keep saying that, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I loved the movie. I really loved Aquaman. It was very fun. I don't have a whole lot of investment in the character. I didn't grow up with, I grew up knowing who he was, but I didn't grow up like a huge, really into the comics. I didn't grow up watching Justice League cartoons like a lot of people did. I don't have that much of an investment in the character. And this is how you win over fans. This is how you get new people into the audience. I don't hear a lot of people talking that much crap about, the people who didn't like it. Except for other fans, but that comes with the territory. You'll have your DC Zack Snyder fanatics, and then you'll have your DC anti-Zack Snyder people. And they will, and a lot of the times the people who really love Zack Snyder don't like it when people like other DC films made by other directors. So here's the biggest. Let's just go into the article here. So in its first Wednesday of its 6-day run, Warner Brothers' Aquaman posted a super 16.9 figure. This is 16.9 million figure that beats the first Wednesday hauls of several fanboy picks. So he beat the Justice League within the first week, which is like no surprise because this is actually a good movie with good word of mouth. While the figure is under the take of Warner Brothers and DC's Dark Knight Wednesday of $18.3 million, and Nichols under the Avengers Infinity War of $16.966 million, Aquaman yesterday outstripped the Wednesday of Star Wars The Last Jedi, Batman Begins, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, even Black Panther, Dark Knight Rises, Justice League, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and Batman v Superman, and they have all the different figures, the millions of figures that they pulled in for the Wednesday after the release. Yes, that's how powerful the Fishman is. Yeah, when he's beating out Black Panther on a Wednesday, right, for a Wednesday total after release, that says a lot. And I know a lot of people went kind of nuts over Black Panther, and a lot of people saw it because, you know, they got their diversity points, they got their little woke points, and a lot of people saw it because it was just a superhero movie and it was getting well reviewed. And I skipped Black Panther, and I'll tell you why. I skipped Black Panther because I did not want to be guilted into watching a movie. I did not want to prove I wasn't racist by watching a movie I didn't have any interest in. I don't care about Black Panther. I don't really care. I'm not the hugest superhero movie fan. I am kind of your typical average movie-going audience member. I will see the superhero movies when they're appealing and when they're interesting, and I'll skip them when they don't look that interesting. Aquaman looked interesting to me, but I'm a huge Stargate Atlantis fan, so I have previous interest in, you know, especially the actors in this movie, especially, you know, and of course we have Jango Fett as Aquaman's dad, so that didn't hurt anything, you know, being a Star Wars fan as well. And then that's the thing, you know, you're always going to have your diehard comic book movie fans who are going to see everything. And then you're also going to have your kind of fake geek girls who say they see everything, who buy all the Funko Pops, who probably have seen as many, you know, superhero movies as I have, for sure. They skip just as many as I do, but they're out there buying the Funko Pops. They're out there cosplaying before the films dropped without any knowledge of the characters, you know? They're out there with their wall of Funko Pops making YouTube videos, basically kissing the butt of every filmmaker out there, because they're this kind of fake geek girl of, you know, where they can't have any negativity, they can't criticize, they can't think for themselves, everything's awesome, everything's wonderful, and then they get into your comment section and rip you a new one for not liking something they liked, even though it's fine, like it, don't like it, whatever, who cares, right? And I guess that's kind of why I always like to be honest with you guys. I don't want to bullshit you guys. I don't want to be there pretending to be something I'm not. You know, I come at these as very much the average movie-going audience member. I'm not the hugest comic book person. I know a little bit, you know, and I don't like to bullshit you guys. I don't like to falsely inflate my knowledge of comic book stuff, because I figure my knowledge of stuff like Babylon 5 and Star Trek and Star Wars kind of compensates for that, and I have my own geek cred. But this just really amused me that a movie like Aquaman is doing so much better than even Black Panther, but especially Last Jedi, and you know, it's not surprising. It's really not surprising. So for both studios and exhibition, every day after Christmas is like a Saturday. It is. It's like a Saturday, especially when you have all the kids out from school. You have a lot of people on vacation for the week. There's a lot of people who took the whole week off and are probably going to trickle in and see Aquaman because they heard good things and they couldn't get away for family obligations or whatever before Christmas. Same thing with Bumblebee. I think Bumblebee is going to trickle in, and I think it's going to do okay because it has decent word of mouth. Another indication of audiences' continued appetite for the big screen, AMC announced yesterday that their Stubbs A-list programs, their answer to MoviePass. Okay, yeah, and we do have that as well. You can pay money for AMC. This seems like a commercial for it, so we won't really get in too much about that. So what do you guys think? I mean, Paramount's Bumblebee is expected to remain in third place in weekend 2 with 21 million. I think a lot of people are going to trickle in to see Bumblebee. Have you guys seen all the movies that came out this week for Christmas? Did you guys skip Bumblebee and go see Aquaman? Did you go see Aquaman, or did you skip Aquaman and see Bumblebee? Are you going to go and see any more of these movies in the coming weekend? Because I know we have another 4-day weekend for a lot of people coming up. We have New Year's just around the corner. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I just thought this is kind of funny and kind of hilarious, and it really says a lot about the fandom and how to do it right and how to do it wrong. But thank you guys so much for watching. I am MechaRandom42, and I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye!